Hello, everybody. My name's Philip, and I'm an IELTS exam teacher. And I first started teaching the IELTS exam about 17 years ago. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about. Sorry, I'm just looking at the options here. Yeah, so today I'm going to just talk a little bit about the IELTS exams. So the IELTS exam has 4 sections. So reading, writing, speaking, and listening, and excuse me, and it can also be for computer or paper-based exams as well. So for the speaking exam, sorry, I should also say it can also be academic or general as well. For the speaking exam, it has 2 sections. So, sorry, three sections rather. And so, first of all, there's the introduction section, then there's the cue card, and then there are the follow-up questions section after that. So for the cue card, you have 1 minute to prepare, and then speaking for 1 to 2 minutes after that. Then there's the writing section where there's first part is you have 20 minutes writing, minimum 150 words to write about a letter for the general or a report for the academic. And then also for the second part, there is it's writing an essay. And for 40 minutes. Then there's the reading section, and the reading section has 3 sections. For the general, the first 2 sections are going to be a lot easier, and then the third section is going to be the same as the academic. So and there's 40 questions, and then for the listening, it's 30 minutes. And then you have 2 minutes checking at the end for the computer exam, and then or 10 minutes checking at the end for the paper exam. For the listening exam, there are again 40 questions. For the IELTS exam, you don't lose any marks to the reading and listening if you kind of make an error. So it's worth trying to sort of just give your best answer that you can, as it were. For the exams, you need to get sort of like a certain amount to get the answers between grade 1 and grade 9. So you need to kind of get a certain amount to get a grade, 8 or 7 or 6 or whatever you're going for. A lot of people will be going for like maybe 6 or 7, sometimes 8s, sometimes 5s, and things like that. So for the exam, make sure that you give a lot of preparation time before the exam, or sufficient at least for the grade you need to get. So it's important to find out exactly what grade you need to get. And then kind of do lots of practice for reading and listening, and just find out your level, find out the average result you're getting. And then also for speaking and writing, unless you're really kind of very fluent in speaking and writing, it's probably a good idea to try to have a native speaker to grade you, so that you can see your level. For the IELTS exam, a lot of people kind of maybe underestimate it, so they may end up taking the exam quite a few times, or not, or for some people, or other times multiple times, and it can be a bit expensive and like a lot of pressure. So try to do adequate preparation before you take the exam. For the IELTS exam, try to become familiar with the different question types for reading and listening. Such as, for example, filling in the gap, or matching, the question to the heading. The question to the paragraph, heading to the paragraph, or whatever. For the IELTS, recognize that it can take quite a lot of energy when you do the exams. So have a good night's sleep and give yourself enough time to get there so you can try and stay as relaxed as possible, and then try to maybe have some food as well before you start the exam. So some energy bar or something, or banana or something to give yourself some energy. Because the IELTS takes up it's quite physically demanding and mentally demanding, perhaps, if you're working quite hard. I generally recommend to try and do on a computer if you can, because for the computer you can, for the writing especially, you can copy and paste the answer and edit it much more easily. Whereas on a paper exam, you need to kind of cross out or draw lines or whatever. So it can be quite a little bit complex. Okay, so so those are some tips. I'll try and think of some others. So for the writing and speaking, be aware of the grading criteria in terms of using complex and varied grammar and vocabulary. Now, obviously, you want to make sure it's correct, so don't kind of guess, and you just want to minimize the errors as much as possible. Obviously, there is a balance between having minimal errors and then trying to make it quite advanced, to get the higher grades and things like that. But anyway, so I would say just be a little bit careful making those if you're making too many errors. For the writing exam, checking is very important, and also checking for the listening and reading as well. But make sure that you have time to check after you finish writing, so you don't just kind of finish writing and then you submit it. And if you are going to do the paper exam, make sure that you your letters are very clear, so that you're not having letters which aren't clear, for the exam, and so the examiner can't guess the letter, the meaning of the words, the letters, or whatever. If you do fail the IELTS exam, it's quite useful to try and find out exactly what was going wrong. So therefore, you could you could do maybe some more practice exams, see which areas you're finding difficult for listening or reading or something. Or you could, especially useful as having an experienced teacher to review your writing and speaking, and to analyze which areas you're doing right, which areas you need to improve on, and things like that. So there is a bit of chance, obviously, because if you get like 100 examiners and then not all of them are going to answer exactly the same way. So anyway, just go step by step. For the writing exam, if you're getting corrections for your writing, then it's quite useful to make an Excel sheet and to then track which errors you're making specifically. So for that, well, if you take classes with myself, for example, then you'd be able to find out how to do it. But essentially, it's just sort of making errors on one side and then counting how many times you're repeating each error, and so you can see which are the key areas, which are the minor errors. Which are the key areas and which are the minor errors that you're making. Okay, so thanks a lot for listening. I hope that wasn't too fast for all of you. If it was fast, I apologize, and maybe I'll try and speak a bit slower next time, perhaps, and then you could try and use maybe subtitles as well if there's an option for that. Now, just to introduce myself again, so my name is Philip. My website is www.englishteacher.school. And I teach IELTS exam online and other areas online, general English online, business English, etc., etc. So if you're interested, after seeing the video, you're interested in improving your English at all, then please feel welcome to let me know, or you can send an email to info@englishteacher.school. So www.englishteacher.school. Email is info@englishteacher.school. And also my mobile is +44 7956 366 761. That's +44 7956. +44 7956. Sorry, 07. Hang on, sorry. So, sorry, right there. Excuse me. It's like brain fatigue there. So +44 7956 366 761. Okay, so I was slightly distracted as well. Okay, so if you like to message me, you can message me on WhatsApp or send an SMS or something like that. Okay, so thank you very much, and I wish you success for your IELTS exam.